Nation, really appreciate you all for jumping in. My name is Law Nation. We're going to talk a little bit about the signing that the Dallas Cowboys did, the J. Ron Curse. He is who he is. He is a special team guy, and I believe in the hearts of hearts, he is a guy that they're going to try to put down inside as the strong safety in a pinch to help out. That's it. They're not going to put him out in space. They're not going to put him at free safety. They bet not do that. He runs a 4.62, and it shows on the film. He's not the fastest of the fastest, but he do have that length. He's linear build. He's 6'4", 215-ish pounds. Now, what alarms me of the whole entire situation is the off the field issues. He's been arrested. He's been having some in and out of jail type of conversation stuff, and I believe he's probably a little hot-headed. But my thing is, the reason why I'm bringing that up, and I'm not trying to put him down or anything, is because the same talk tracks, if I can use that word, was said that Alden Smith is going through some ailments, right? He's going through some transgressions. Now, if the Dallas Cowboys are looking at it like, okay, we can't deal with his transgressions, but we can deal with a new guy transgressions, that is to cause the pause. That is to cause the pause, because now all of a sudden, one does not equate or equal the other. You got one troublesome child, and you pick up another troublesome child. Make it make sense. I don't know why the Cowboys drug this thing all the way out to pretty much, and I'm not saying that he would have been on a first plate of a menu for any other team, but why hold on to him for this long, or give the impressions for this long that, hey, I'm going to retain said person, or come out with articles and saying, oh, we're thinking about this particular guy. Nevertheless, I just don't want karma to come back to see us and say, hey, what's up? You owe me something. You know, it's one of those things. We got to do better as an organization with these type of situations. We do. And that's just the bottom line. Now, moving from that topic, heading into this particular draft, Gil Brandt, one of the legends out there, he have his top 100, and I think he got a top 150 out there. But in his top 100, he listed all of the guys that he have on his particular board or mind. And number 3 on that list was Kyle Pitt. I know that a lot of us would love to have Kyle Pitts, because now when we think about, man, a dynamic guy that can take the top off the defense, especially it's a mismatch, whoever lines up on him or against him, especially if it's forcing a linebacker on him, or if you have a nickel guy, it's just danger. I'm thinking that this kid is just like next level, right? Right? And that is a luxury pick. That's where most people would look at it. And you got the need pick, would be what? A actual offensive lineman. And when you get all the way to that point, at what point would you look at this thing and say, all right, I know for sure that this team we need an offensive lineman, and we need extra help as it relates to safety play and especially defensive back play, right? We can't be looking at this thing and saying, all right, we're just going to fall back and not will and deal. I'm thinking that with that 10th overall draft pick, there will be teams looking at the Waddle kid. There will be teams that wanting to have the Devontae Smith kid. There will be teams that probably looking at Jamar Chase. There will be teams looking at it like, hey, Kyle Pitts will be the guy that can change the face of their organization and franchise. And who knows, when those quarterbacks start going, like the Zach Wilson and the Trey Lance, who knows, or the Justin Fields, right? So I believe that the 10th pick is in a sweet spot. Sweet. And I'm talking about sweet. I'm talking about it's so sweet it give you cavities, right? If you stare at it and bite into it too long, right? So my thing is, Cowboy Nation, what the world should we do? Because I believe although Patrick Surtain, I believe he's like number 15 or 16 on Gil Brandt's list. I'm trying to go off a recall here. My thing is, I think that he would go because the other teams would look at a defensive back a whole lot sooner than that time frame. So I don't think that he would last all the way to the 15th or the 16th pick. And y'all know how this thing goes. The first defensive back that goes is going to be a domino fall from here. And the intriguing part is, on one end, you got Caleb Farley, that he have still ranked as one of the top defensive backs. And that's maybe where scouts are looking at it, like the potentials, regardless of the situation, is just too high. And then on the other end, you got my dog, J.C. Horn, right? The way I'm saying and the way I'm looking at this thing is the Cowboys may have the better chance of trade down opportunity if the BPA philosophy falls on an offensive lineman or an offensive guy that they feel like they can get another one, maybe in the second or the third round. And I'm not saying that the Cowboys should just look at it and say, all right, we're going to now pick a third round offensive guy, right, lineman. But the issue is, with this whole entire situation, is how they going to look at this defensive side of the coin and say, all right, we can get more bang for our buck if we just trade down or move back a few slots. And I've seen it happen before. Now, I put all of this out there just to say that I believe that that's a good philosophy, to trade down and get multiple picks within that second range there, second round, that will bring more value to you. But I'm also with this right here. Just let's not get too cute with it. Let's not look too much into it, and just stay where we at. Pick the player at the 10th pick, whether it be Slater or whether it be Pitts, and of course, whether it be Patrick Surtain. Now, I believe my cornerback one is still J.C. Horn. I believe that in margins, right? Marginally speaking, if you looking to really, really, really shore up this secondary in the second round, or how many picks? We got another pick that's close, a compensatory pick, right? If that is Asante Samuel Jr., if he falls within that grace period, I think that you should roll the dice on him. And hear me out, Cowboy Nation. Just hear me out. Hear me out. Think of this secondary and think of the way we can grow with this. And Malik Hooker, he's not all the way out the picture yet. You know, the Cowboys still working on something with him. Trust me, they're working on something. They're just trying to keep it close to themselves right now, unless his medicals were just terrible. But just hear me out. Diggs on one side. Donovan Wilson, the safety. Neal, the strong safety. You go and draft J.C. Horn, the other cornerback. You still have Anthony Brown. You still have Maurice Kennedy, right? Right? You still have Reggie Robinson. On top of that, you go out there and grab Asante Samuels, 4.38 guy. I think that he can still fall within that second range, or second round is a better way to say it. Think of the secondary from there. And just hear me out. As far as the interior of the situation, you can still in the third get Jay Tuafile, Tommy Toaga. You still can get one of those solid pieces as it relates to their front four. Hear me out, Cowboy Nation. Don't run away from me now. But just hear me out. Or if you really like the Christian Barmores of the world, you still have the ability to get Christian Barmore in the second. And just with all of those compensatory picks, trade back into the second, or trade down into the second. You still have the ability to still scoop up Asante Samuels or Elijah Molden. You got some power. Look at the depths on this defensive back situation. And we don't even have to really go into detailings of the offensive side of the coin. All we need is just some pieces on the defense. And all what we did with this free agency, man, it'll be solid. It'd just be like a little cherry if you can get a Malik Hooker because of the fact that he's only 24, 25-ish, you know. That's my morning talk right there, Cowboy Nation. I always like to know what you guys have on your hearts, soul, and mind. Post me your thoughts down below, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Whew. Let me finish up with my coffee. Make me think better. We out. Peace.